We finally got our hands on the Razer V3 Pro controller. I know it took a while. I got it, okay? I don't want to tell you. I thought you were going to send it to me. Then, to be completely honest with you, the rep that reached out to me wanted the video to use for whatever they wanted to use it for, and I wasn't giving my work away for free. So I ended up buying the controller myself because, well, one, I wanted it, and two, you guys wanted to see the video on it. So it only took freaking 14 years, but we're here. That's all that matters. So let's hop into the video and see if this is worth the $170 that the price tag is on it now. It's not $200 anymore. So I guess that's a bonus of me waiting to put the video out. All right, so you guys are gonna see the unboxing on there. The unboxing of this was pretty cool. I really did actually enjoy the unboxing of this because you get it in the box itself. This is right when you open it up and stuff. You get extra sticks and stuff. I do like the idea of having the case to carry it and stuff. I do like the idea of having the nice nylon cable that it came with as well. It had the labels on it, the Razer labels and all that stuff on it. All that was cool. You do get the dongle with it, which is going to be used for the Xbox and stuff as well. All that was cool. What I was a little confused about, and this is like probably the first time, if I'm being completely honest with you, is this is an Razer Xbox official controller, but there was no Game Pass code in it. Now, I don't care because I give it to you guys anyways. But it wasn't there, so I couldn't give it to you guys. I was like confused. I was looking everywhere for it. I was like, I know this got to be in here somewhere. It's like they skipped out on it. What? We saved like 30 cents, guys? Any case, that wasn't in there. The first thing I want to talk about on the controller itself, played with it a lot of good things on it and stuff. So I want to hit some of the negatives at first. I figured, why not? I felt like the controller should be able to be charged on a stand. There's no charging stand available for this controller. The only way you can charge this controller is through the top of the USB-C port that is on the controller itself. Here, I'll show you guys. So we make sure we're all on the same page. So okay, cool. Yeah, so you can only charge the controller from here. And that's okay, but in the same aspect, I really wish they would have put some prongs here. It's an internal battery and set it up like every other controller that's like this on the market and make it a docking station. I mean, they could have probably slapped another $25, $30 on the price tag and had a whole, even the Turtle Beach controller that came out for the Xbox had a docking station. This doesn't. So, and it wouldn't be such an issue for me if the case itself had a way to plug in through it. So I can't store the controller in here and charge it at the same time. There's no hole here to do that. So that was a little bit of a bummer, if I'm being completely honest with you. I felt like that was a missed opportunity. I mean, that was simply just taking what worked before on the Elite controller and cutting a hole in here. Don't get me wrong, you can cut a hole in your case if you want to, but the point is you shouldn't have to. It's a brand new controller. So those are kind of the things that kind of rub me the wrong way, if you want to say that. So one of the biggest things is I am a Razer fan. I used to be a Razer fanboy, if I'm being completely honest. Everything on my desk was pretty much Razer, and now everything's starting to change out, like different variants and stuff like that. I don't care about being all symmetric and all the same stuff. Now I got a lot of Corsair stuff on here and Elgato. Thanks, guys. But this was my favorite. This is the old the Wolverine Chroma V2 controller. This was by far my favorite controller on the Xbox when it came out and I got it and everything. I loved it. The controller was wider and the buttons were weird on the back, but I have big hands, so it didn't never bother me. And I love the idea of the buttons on top, and I just loved how the controller felt all the way around. At the time, this was like ahead. Like, it just was a good controller. Now, if people with small baby hands had issues with the controller, I get it. It's a wider controller. Well, unfortunately, this controller is a little wider too. It's not a symmetrical Xbox controller. You can kind of see them up close and personal to each other right now. You get an idea of the controllers are pretty much the same width. There's a little bit of a different design here and stuff like that. I will also throw out there, now that I have the Chroma V2 in my hands and stuff, they kind of went away from you know, they have the rubber around the back here, which does feel good, but they didn't wrap it all the way around the controller like they did in the Chroma V2. So they did go away from that design as well. The other things that you can see right away on the back of the controller is the back buttons. Now, you guys have probably watched a million videos on this and stuff, but these buttons are placed fan-freaking-tastic. I do love the way these buttons are placed and the way they feel while playing the game itself. I'm able to press it and stuff. They have like a slight edge to them even, right? So like when you're setting them back there and stuff, they're just raised and they feel good. And in they got gripple, if you've been around the channel for a while, or stipple, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, all the way across the back of the buttons. Like it's not just the center or just the beginning of it. They literally took the time and actually, you know, does it feel like really stipple-y feeling? No, not really. But the point is they could have stopped that design to save a few cents and they did. I wish they would have stopped that design to save a few cents to cut a hole in the charging or in the carrying case. That would have probably, I'd have been more happier with that, to be completely honest with you. But some of the things they did skip out on is they didn't put stipple and stuff on the triggers or the bumpers themselves. Like absolutely nowhere you can see it. They're just smooth all the way across. There's no stipple anywhere on there. It's not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination. It's not like my fingers are slipping off when I'm sweating in Arc Raiders now. By the way, yeah, I've started playing Arc Raiders. But you know, it's still a thing where, you know, I wish it would have been on there. It made the controller feel a little bit more premium, if I'm being completely honest with you. But other than that, the other cool things about the bumpers and the triggers themselves, they feel amazing. I absolutely love how the bumpers and the triggers feel on here. You get that just press in that's super easy to press, and it just feels good when I press it in. I'm getting an immediate rock of it because it's all mechanical right here on the side of it, and I can go all the way across and press all the way around, no issue. So depending on how long your weird fingers are, you should have no issue pressing on these buttons all the way around with ease. I absolutely love that. The cool thing about this is more and more people are doing it. Hallelujah, is they're putting the mouse clicky triggers on there. So instead of just having the mechanical trigger stops, you're actually getting that click in the controller itself. So you get that, you can hear it, that beautiful sound. I absolutely love the way it feels. I love the way it sounds, and it just feels amazing while I'm playing FPS shooter games, especially the way. And then if you don't want it, of course, you do have the trigger stops on the back, physical trigger stops, where you could turn that off and you get that full pull down. And the cool thing is, as well, is I'm going to show you right now on screen, you do have an app. The app isn't like revolutionary or anything like that. It's pretty much the same app that you got with like the V2 and all these other controllers and stuff like that. You can change the back buttons, you can change the top buttons, and you can change like the dead zones and stuff like that of the triggers when they're not on when the trigger stops aren't on, and also on the joysticks themselves. Speaking of all that, the joysticks themselves are Hall effects. They're not TMRs. You know, TMR when this controller first came out was still really, really new. So I guess I completely understand why they're not TMRs on this controller, but I do wish they were TMRs, if I'm being completely honest with you. The reason being is because when I took these down to the 0%, because they were set at like I think they were set, if I can't remember, I think they were set at 15, because you don't have precise control over it either. It's like done in 5s, pretty much, maybe 3s, somewhere around there. I'm showing it to you on screen. But you couldn't, when I put it down to 0 and looked on Gamepad Tester, the centers were off. Like they weren't perfectly aligned and stuff like that. And that's because of how sensitive it all is and everything else. And people just complain about the speed of Hall effects and stuff like that. I'm not that much of like a tester to really know. My dogs will bark. They always bark. They always bark when I'm doing a video. It never fails. I'm not really like the person that gets deep into it as a super specky, what everything is and stuff. I'm not gonna tear a controller apart like even, shut up! Let me know in the comments, do you still play Call of Duty or are you playing Arc Raiders now? I'm in it, I absolutely love it. I might even get some people to run with that's in the community. Drop your tag below. You see me something with Pugh in it, you'll know it's me. But yeah, the sticks themselves, they feel fine. They do have, and I'll just show you real quick here. They do have the metal. It's not metal. That's like a glossy style black and stuff. But you do have the anti-friction rings that are around the sticks as well, which is just gonna give you more of a smoothly buttery feel on it. You can see the caps do pop off as well. And the caps themselves, you see that there, that Control Freak. This is an Xbox Control Freak. So for a change, it's not a PlayStation that's gonna fit on a third-party controller. It's actually an Xbox Control Freak that's gonna fit on an Xbox controller. If you know, you know. You've been around a while, it's pretty much always PlayStation 5 Control Freaks. These are the Xbox. By the way, if you want this controller, you're checking it out, you want Control Freaks to fit this controller, you can check them out in the description. Help your boy out, and I appreciate it. But when you take these sticks off, pay attention. There's a little dot on there. Let me see if I can get it. You see that little dot? It has to be facing you. There's a little dot right there too. That tells you how the controller goes back on, or the stick goes back on. If you don't get it right, you can put it on wrong and almost destroy your stick like I did. I'm that guy. So moving on, I did want to touch on the back buttons again real quick here. The back buttons themselves, other than the stipple going across the back of them too, they are that tactile feel, which feel amazing. Even from the Chroma V2, they wasn't the tactile on the back. They felt good. They had like the clickiness to them a little bit, but they were like more of like a hybrid. They wasn't actual feeling tactile and stuff like these are. These feel absolutely amazing. Again, some of my favorite, I would say, on pretty much back buttons I've had. I personally don't mind the rockers pretty much set up on like the Fly Diggies and stuff like that when I'm playing on PC, but you know, I definitely dig this. This feels good. It's like they finally listened to us, or somebody that plays actual games understand ergonomically how a controller should be sitting in your hand. So let's talk about other things on the front of the controller for a second. XYBA, we're gonna talk about right here as well. You do have those are tactiles. I'm just gonna let you see how fast I press it in and down. It does very well, and I'll just let you hear the tactileness in the controller itself, as you can hear right there. Sounds amazing. They feel really good. I don't personally use XYBA a lot just because I have the 4 buttons on the bottom, but then I also have 2 extra buttons on top right here. This is a Razer thing that they started a long time ago. Other people are starting to copy now, but you have those extra buttons that are right there as well. Now these, they're not tactile. They don't have the tactileness to them. I'm not mad at it. I'm actually okay with it because there is a distinct difference when I'm pressing the buttons between all 3 buttons on one side, which I actually appreciate while gaming. So now I have like a different sensation. It's kind of like you're eating, right? Like you eat something, you got something that's sweet and then salty, and then you get near the end of it, you're like, man, I wish there was some kind of crunch there, and then you crunch into something, you're like, oh my gosh, a perfect bite. Okay. Am I the only fat one here? Any case, that's kind of how it is. Like you get that super nice tactile mouthfeel, and then you come up to the bumper. It just feel good. I can't explain it. It's like that middle of the tier, and then you come right here, and they just feel good too. I don't know. It's just like it's a good trinity of buttons right there on the top of the controller, in my personal opinion, and they feel amazing. Moving on. You do have the 8 rocker D-pad right here. You can turn this on and off, by the way. This is tactile. You can see how it is raised. You got that nice little dome right there. Let's see if I can get a better shot of it for you guys and gals. Okay, yeah, you can see how it is raised a little bit. It is a dome style D-pad. What I do like about it though is you do get on the app itself, you can activate if you want it to be an 8 rocker or just a 4 rocker. Because what that does is when you press in the middle, like if you come down and then over, you're gonna get the down. And so for example, if I press up and right at the same time, I'm gonna get that action to happen at the same time. If you turn the 8-way off and only have the 4-way on, if you press up and then kind of over at the same time, you won't have that happen. Some people don't like that feature. Some people don't want to have it on an 8-way. Maybe you only want the 4-way. Whatever the case may be, you can change that in the app. It's something I don't see a whole lot of, so I thought that was worth mentioning and thought it was kind of cool. Speaking of the app, since we have talked about the app a few times now, the app itself is on PC. and it is on Xbox. You can download it. It's the same exact app. Just go to your Play Store, look for Razer V3 Pro, whatever. Just type in Razer. You'll see it pop up for the controller. Download it. You can update the controller there. You can update the dongle there, and you'll be good to go. Mine came updated out of the box, so I didn't have to worry about that at least. One cool thing I did appreciate on the controller itself is on the bottom of it, you do have your headphone port still there. So if you are wanting to run a wired headset, or you're wanting to run a USB mic on Xbox, like I show how you do that in all the other videos, you are able to do that too. You can go in the app as well and change colors and stuff of the Razer logo and this, that, and the other. Whatever, I don't really care about all that. You can change the settings of like when it goes to sleep and this, that, and the other. That's pretty cool. I think I have mine set to like 15 minutes or something like that. If you don't touch it, it kind of turns off to save battery and stuff like that. And speaking of battery and battery life and all that, the battery life, from what I can see and tell, there have been people talking about they're getting 20 plus hours on the controller itself, which is cool, especially since I can't just place the controller on a docking stand, Razer, and charge the controller like that. Or, you know, they could have done it. They could have put the freaking charging stand in the case, and when we put it in there, it charges, and it was just sitting there. That would have been cool. Anyways, I'm going too long about the battery. No. Now, here's my thoughts about this. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This controller is $170, pretty much brand new. My issue with this controller being wireless is you can get the same controller with a wire for $100 cheaper. The Tournament Edition, I'm looking at it right now. I wanted to look it up to see before I gave my final verdict. It's 75 bucks. So it's like almost $100 cheaper. The only difference between these two controllers is one is wireless and one is not. There has to be a conversation in there somewhere. One is, does making a controller wireless make it that much more expensive? And two is it really worth spending $100 extra on a controller just to have it wireless? Maybe you say yes to that. The controller, the wire controller, just so I can sit here and say that, tell you, it's going to be the same as that controller, but it does have a 10-foot USB-C to Type A connector on it, so you're going to get a super long cable. Let me know in the comments below, do you really think that the controller is worth $100 more than the same exact controller without a wire to it? You know, I don't know, guys. I don't think I would, like, if I was buying a controller today, especially if I was a little bit on a budget, I think I would personally buy the wire controller. The controller's good. The playing experience was great with it. I love the controller overall. I think I would love the wire controller too and spend $100 less and then spend $100 on a good headset or something like that and have the best of both worlds, I should say. But let me know in the comments below if you want to check both of these controllers out. I'm going to actually post the Tournament Edition there too. I did play with it, but it's the same exact freaking controller, so whatever. So if you want to spend $100 less and get a wire controller, you can check that one out down in the description as well. Or if you want to check this one out, feel free to check that one out as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, peace and love.